Okay, we're back, Module 3. Rich Currie again. In this module, we're going to talk about what are keywords. Now, this is built on the module before, so please don't skip around. And in fact, if you did do that, go back and see Module 2 first. It's very important. Okay, what we're going to do here now is these are some of the words that we did in our last exercise on how to pick a niche, and I've added a few here for illustration purposes. Okay, but we've assumed now we've done our initial research, as I said in the second module, and we've decided now that these terms have preliminarily enough competition that we're going to have a look and check them out for real. Okay, so again, it's a process. Now, I stressed this in Module 2, and I have to really stress it here in Module 3. Picking the right niche in a particular category and understanding what the keywords are and doing your keyword research are unequivocally the most important. If you don't do this right, nobody will ever find you, okay? Or you won't rank well amidst the sea of millions and millions and millions of search results. So I haven't said this before, and sometimes from my perspective I assume that people know this, and I should never do that, of course. Having your website on the internet is not good enough. You really do need to be on the top pages of Google, preferably page 1, okay? If you're not, it's not going to do much. So it's imperative that you understand these processes that we're talking about here to be able to do that. Okay, so we now have got keywords. So we take them from our niche in Mod 2, and we move on, and let's say we're going to use personalized dog collars, we're going to use leather dog collars, we're going to use large dog collars, small dog collars, okay? We're going to try these 4 here as our keyword terminology. Now what we're doing here is, as I say, these are your keywords. We're actually going to go out for real now and see what the search competition is, or in fact, are there really people searching for these keyword terms? So I want you to understand the process. We narrow them down to what we think looks good when we pick the niche. Now we're going to prove if that was correct. And again, can't stress it, you've got to do this. Okay, so how do you do that? Simple. There are keyword tools out there on the internet. Do not, other than Google, do not use any of the other free keyword tools except for Google. I'll explain that in a minute. Why? Okay, I get this question an awful lot. Because it's not accurate data. Okay, there's a ton of free keyword tools out there. They're useless. Don't use them. Don't even waste your time, because you're going to do some searches and they're going to turn results back to you with data that you don't know how old it is. Okay, so for those who don't know, I'll explain what a keyword tool is. What a keyword tool is and it attempts to do is when you put in a keyword or a long tail keyword phrase, it returns back to you how many people actually searched for that term. And of course, if it's a good sized number, then you know you can build a site about that. Okay, the reason why I say don't use the free ones is, as I mentioned, you don't know how old the data is or what are they using to compile the data. So what we do is we use Google, okay, has a free keyword tool, and you can Google that. Okay, just put in Google keyword tool. And it will bring you to the Google site, the webmaster site, the analytics site. I believe it's Google Analytics that's inside of that. And this is the only free tool, in my opinion, that you want to trust. And the reason for that is because this tool is actually compiles all of Google's own information. Okay, so it's real. So anybody who's doing a search in Google, it's going to get recorded as data to be able to be used in their keyword tool. So you bring up that keyword tool and you enter these keywords that you have. And in this example, we'll use these. Naturally, you use your own. And what these are going to do is, inside of that keyword tool, it's going to tell you the previous month search volume, the current month search volume, and basically a year back graph that shows what the search volume was. Okay? The graph is somewhat important for a beginner because, for example, if you have a seasonal business, you're going to want to know that. So let's say you're thinking about doing a website about pool products or something like that. Well, bear in mind that your busiest months certainly are going to be in the summer, and your search volume is going to drop off in December, for example. Nobody's searching for pool products as a general rule. So that's why the graph is somewhat important. It will let you know if there are seasonal highs and lows within the niche that you're looking to do. Okay. So you put in the keyword, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you a number. And that number is going to tell you emphatically these are real search people. In other words, it's not fictitious. People have actually gone out and searched. So if you get high enough search numbers for these, then you know that that keyword is a keeper. If there's no search volume, or very minimal, I mean, it gets 4 searches a month or something, well, that's no good. So then let's just say personalized dog collars got 40,000 searches a month. That's a keeper. Let's say leather dog collars, for example, and I didn't do any research. This is just for illustration purposes. Let's say leather dog collars, only got 6 searches a month. Okay, well then you can cross that off. There's no point in you doing anything about it, about that particular term. All right. So perform that process for all of your keywords. Now, for illustration purposes, I'm only doing 4 here. What you really need to do is just have a whole bunch. Now, the beauty of this keyword tool here at Google is if you put in personalized dog collars, there's going to give you an option to check that will say recommended search terms, and click that. And you'll see it will open up a whole entire list, and there could be a ton of keywords in there that you never even thought about that are relative to that term. And again, it will show the search volume. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you that this is very good for learning process, and you need to do this, and a lot of people will stop at this. I'm going to tell you that you need to take it to a more of a scientific level. So after you pass all of this, what you really need to do is to move to another testing level, and I'm not going to cover it here. It's something that we cover in the Word of Mouth Forum that will unequivocally give you exactly what the results are. So that's really what you want to do. And after you finish that process, you're now going to have pretty much your final list of keywords that you're going to use. All right? And now we will move on to content writing and actually what to do with those keywords. So that'll be Module 4, and we'll get to that momentarily. And again, rewind this if you need to understand, but you've got to make sure you get this keyword right. And definitely use the free Google keyword tool and use its suggestions and look at that data, and that will help you right out. I mean, this is gold here, folks. You really got to pay attention to this stuff. Okay, I'll see you in the next module.